Good morning. It's the Saints man, small van driver on the CX. It's Wednesday, the 20, 29th? Yeah, 29th, and it is 11 o'clock. Just two tips down a tip, because that's what you do after Christmas, getting rid of all the crap that's accumulated. Not working today, having a couple of days off, which, to be honest, I think I've earned. Just chilling out now. Got a few more things to do. I want to go today, but I just had a look around on the internet. What this is looking back on the year, the first year, my first year. I started my first year in with the CX really. I started November 20. Yep, no, 2020. At the end of November, I joined the CX sort of middle of November and started middle of November. So my first year ended on end of November, just gone, 2021. It's been a pretty good year. We look back really. I started off because we run a cafe in Northampton. I've said in previous videos, we run All Seasons Cafe, which we still do. Wife runs it with daughter. I was there as well, chefing, front of house, pretty much doing everything. When you run something, you learn to do everything. Previously before that, I was a truck driver. Because of my glaucoma, I couldn't get a medical. I packed up anyway because it's just bloody work abroad. So we had the cafe. Went into lockdown, which was crucifying. After we got a good cafe, really big cafe as well, 90 odd seaters and a 70 seater outside. But went into lockdown and it was crucifying. It's all right getting your grants and everything. All it does is pay the bills that were still coming in, and we were propping a business up that wasn't even open. So, I decided, I used to be in transport anyway, before that, trucks, vans, everything, did multi-truck, did work for, work various things. But, decided, I got a van, it was only a 57 plate combo, but it was mint, we'd had it for 10 years, it's called Chuggaboom. It's called Chuggaboom for a reason, it's 1.2 and the turbo don't work, so it's slow. But, we got a van, so I didn't have to worry about buying a van. I'd looked at the CX, I'd looked at various things. Pete the Courier, Big Beardy, I'd looked at their videos, which the CX people said to me, have a look at their videos and see what you think. I'd already got a name for the company because I'd kept my name at Company's House on the, I put it into like dormant. So I got my name of the company. So I was really ready to rock really with the van and everything. It was just a matter of paying the CX first year, which they were helpful, they gave me an extra month. And that was the biggest expense. And obviously, it started off with the fuel and that. So we started off December, first job. Well, yeah, first job was December 2020. And it started off okay, did quite a few jobs. Just getting into it, made a fair few mistakes. We all do when you first join. It's just learning by your mistakes. Used Chuggaboom. Decided that Chuggaboom weren't going to be up for the job, bless her, because even though she never ever let me down, up until March. I run Chuggaboom from December, January, February, March. I did 15,000 miles in 4 months. So, was putting the mileage in, but my God, it was uncomfortable. The reason was there was no cruise control. It was an older van. And some jobs popped up. People asked the registration, and because the van was old, they said, unfortunately, we can't give it to you because the van's, we have to have a certain, it only has to be a 5-year-old van or whatever, which is fair enough. Some companies do that. The van was spotless. My van, it still is spotless. It's old. Bless her. She's old. But we worked till March with that one. Decided that work was going well. It was earning me a little bit of money. First 2 months didn't earn me nothing because it's all paying 30 days, invoice, 45 days, day of invoice, 60 days from invoice, 30 days end of month. So I was a Big Beardy said that, Pete the Courier said that, looked at their videos, you've got to get a few thousand in because you're going to outlay's going to go. Didn't have a fuel card until January. First fuel card I got was a BP card, which gave me a little bit off per litre, but then I started looking at other videos, Van on the Run, and he got a couple of cards, decided that I was going to look around for other cards, and decided I was going to get a new van, and decided to put some money into the company, loan the company personal money, to buy a new van. Well, not a new van, second-hand van. That's when I got Scylla the Citroen, which I'm running now. got that from Scotland. Well, near Scotland. I had to go to Berwick-upon-Tweed on a train. He come down from Scotland. Lovely man. Did it all over the internet. Yeah, I didn't even look at it, but I was well pleased. And I still am well pleased. The van's, yeah, it's a lovely van. Love it. Got that March the 1st. I picked that up, and I was working March the 2nd with it. Come down from Berwick-upon-Tweed, drove it home, put all my kit out of Chuggaboom into it. Chuggaboom's gone back to the cafe. I don't work for the cafe. My wife runs it at the cafe, picks up ambient stuff from the wholesalers in it. And yeah, Scylla joined in March. Work picked up. I was getting used to it. So main thing was the fuel is just fuel. But started March the 1st with Scylla, and it was so much better. It would just seem jobs could be done quicker. I'd been to Scotland in Chuggaboom, believe it or not. I'd been to Edinburgh and stayed there for 2 days and come back. My God, I'd cramp in my feet because I just permanently got it to the floor. Maximum speed was just under 70, flat out. 1.2 diesel with weight on the back. You ain't doing much more than that, let me tell you, with no turbo. Never got the turbo fixed because we never needed it for the cafe. It was just poodling around, and we still haven't had it fixed because it's just a switch. Doesn't matter, works well. Anyway, progress. Scylla worked March, April, all the way through, and still working now. I've got Scylla. It had gone 34,700. She's a 2018 van. Got it off a man in Scotland who used to use it for wildlife photography, and he used to shoot videos and stuff like that. So it was well spec'd, as you've seen on previous videos. The back is beautifully spec'd. No bulkhead, just what I wanted because I knew I'd be tramping now and again. So, Scylla started March the 1st, 34,700. She's now just clocked up just under 100,000. She's going in for a major service in second week in January. Yeah, January the 11th, I think, or 12th, with my mate who does it. She's been through 2 sets of tyres, and she's she's on second set of tyres, and she gets serviced every 17,000 miles because that's when the intervals are. He does it. I don't do the Maydeal service. I just do Darren, who's a mate, who's a biker mate. He's got his own garage, and it's all legit, and it's all service history. It's just not Citroen service history, which is about 3 times as expensive. So work's going okay. What I've learned, I've done my end of year figures. I've been doing that sort of over Christmas really, before Christmas. There's some main things that are expensive you're always going to have expensive. My fuel for the whole year was 7,320 quid. That's my fuel. I didn't get the UK fuel cards until about May. I should have got that one earlier because it's always been cheaper than the BP one. Big mistake. So if you're just starting, get 2 fuel cards. Get them. UK fuels, I would sort of say get. I've got the Texaco one, fast fuels, and you can save minimum 5p a litre. And at the moment, I'm getting it for 140, and it's about 148, something like that. But it's normally under. Till all this fuel thing went mad about 6-8 weeks ago, when it all went through the roof, you couldn't get any. That is a big plus. Get a fuel card. That's what I'm going to be looking next year, is to keep my fuel costs. Try and keep a minimum. Dead mileage is fuel. And I learnt that last year. I used to drive home 80, 90, 100 mile, do a job, couldn't get a job home in early days because I was a bit inexperienced, going to places I shouldn't have gone to. So, dead miles equals higher fuel. That's one thing. The other big cost is obviously your insurance, which mine's gone down from the first year. Mine was expensive the first year because I had Chuggaboom, the Vauxhall Combo, on the insurance, which was a 57 plate. It was a really cheap insurance. Then I went to a new van, or a 2.5-year-old van, which it was just over 2 years van. Insurance went up, obviously, because the cost of the van was way over what the Chuggaboom was. Chuggaboom was only valued at 1,500 quid. So, whereas the Citroen Berlingo was valued at I valued it at 9.5 grand, although I didn't pay that for it. So that's the big costing is insurance. It's gone down. I've actually paid this year's insurance. My insurance was due because I got an extra month, December. I've paid it next year. I used to pay it in instalments. I've paid it in one lump because I've got the money. And it worked out cheaper to pay it in one lump. So I've paid my insurance in one hit. And that's so my monthly cost will be, there'll be no insurance. It's an annual cost, not a monthly cost. Because I used to have it a monthly. So that's another big expense is your insurance. Obviously, your courier exchange. It's well worth it to me. It's well worth it. Although the last, since about May, but no, since about July, I do get work that's not. Although it comes through the CX, he doesn't put it on the CX. It's a customer who uses me. He doesn't put it on the CX to bid for. He's happy the price I charge. I do a good job. I've done a lot of work for him. But the CX is still the main thing for me. I've looked at Shipley. I mean, it's free. That's the main thing about it. Well, it doesn't. It's it doesn't cost. But and other things. But I've got a couple of private ones now who have come off the CX shippers. I think they looked at the CX, but they phone me now and again as well. And because I'm in Northampton, the CX is very vibrant around here. There's jobs today, believe it or not. So that's the next expense. Obviously, the next expense is your wages, what you're paying yourself. Each to their own, what you're paying yourself. I set my target, what I wanted to pay myself. I've loaned the business money, which the business is paying me back in loan repayments, monthly, dividends. I'm a limited company, so it's a dividend. I've done limited company before. I'm thinking about VAT, going on the flat rate scheme. Van on the Run does it. We're going to have a look at it with the accountant. I've got an accountant that costs money as well. I pay her monthly, but she's great advice and gets everything done. And I'm going to benefit from that. I know I am. So because I'll keep all nice and legal and everything's going to be above board and properly. Obviously, you've got to see how your first year goes. I had a big expense, obviously, with buying the van. So it was a huge outgoing. Other things that I found when I've worked out how much I spent over a year, like Amazon, buying books, buying this, to set your van up, I spent £241 on Amazon. I bought a lot of things on Amazon, sack barrows, setting the van up. That's cost that shouldn't be as expensive next year. Stamps. I spent £146 on stamps last year. That decreased. At the start, when I started in 2020, I should imagine it was pretty much not half and half, but it was nearly half and half. I was 2 stamps a day, 3 stamps a day. It adds up. And now there's only a couple of companies that I use regular that want stamps. Emails come into it, CX invoicing, emails through their own portals. They're more and more like that. So stamps have gone down a little bit, but they're still £146 last year. Obviously the van, running the van, tax, servicing. I've worked out I'm going to service it. It's going to get a big service. It's going to have a cam belt or chain or whatever it has done in January. It's going to have the brakes done. Its MOT's due. I reckon I can safely put away £2,000 a year for services, tyres, MOT, repairs. It will need repairing. You've got to realise these vans do 60 to 70,000 a year. That's what some people do in 5 years. I'm doing in 1 year. So it's going to be a couple of grand. It was. I mean, my tyres last year, where are we, tyres? It was £493 for 2 sets of tyres. So, you're talking, it's going to cost, and it's going to cost that next year as well. I bought a new laptop, the old laptop. I've still got the old laptop, actually. It works to a certain extent. There's some things that have gone that are not really good. Bought a new laptop. Got a really decent one, £600. I have a Vodafone dongle, which I put in the van. My hotels last year, I did £413 in hotels. Because I didn't tramp in Chuggaboom. I used to hotel it. Hotels were cheap at the time. In lockdown, I was getting hotels for £20. When I was in Scotland, I got an Ibis budget for £20. When I was down in Cornwall, I was getting hotels for £25. £30. I used to put a maximum of £30 on hotels. In lockdown, easy. When we come out of lockdown, hotels are gone like that. I don't intend to hotel much. Very rare I'm going to hotel. If I'm out for 2 nights, I might, if I get a cheap hotel for 30 quid, I might do it just to get a nice bed and a really hot shower instead of going to a service station. But we'll see. But my hotels last year was 413 quid. I'm going to try and decrease that. So all in all, the first year I think you spend more money than you're going to spend in the second year, hopefully. The reason I'm saying that is because I didn't have a fuel card to start with, and I didn't have. I didn't shop around. I weren't savvy enough. But hopefully, year in, don't get me wrong, my expenses were a lot, but my earnings picked up dramatically. From January, it was quite quiet. It is quieter in January. Everyone will tell you that. But I think I'm going to do more money in January this year. February, I should pick up. It'll pick up. So it's going to be interesting to see how much money I can do January. I hope I'll beat last January, because last January was pretty poor. We haven't had any bad weather yet. No snow. I lost 3 days last year through snow. But we'll see. Lockdown. God knows. This Omicron or whatever it's called. What's going to happen there? So all in all, first year, quite pleased. Enjoying the job, that's the main thing. That is the thing. If you enjoy the job, I'm not going to earn a mountain of money out of it. It's not going to, if you think you're going to earn yourself, 2,000 or 3,000 quid wages a month, that ain't going to happen. I work hard. I'm quite happy to put 50 hours, some weeks 60 hours, some weeks 40. I average about 50 hours a week. So but I'm happy to do that. I don't work weekends, whereas I used to work in the cafe. I used to work every Saturday and every Sunday, and my weekends back. I base my estimates of my earnings on 45 weeks a year, which is another job, which is 7 weeks off. I have 4 weeks on boat that we've got sharing. I have another week's holiday, 5. I count Christmas as a week because you may work. I could work today. I could have done. There's 4 or 5 jobs, but I ain't gonna work. I can't work tomorrow because we're doing something. We're busy. My wife's off tomorrow. We're busy doing stuff. So I've counted between Christmas and New Year off. So there's 6 weeks. So that's 4 weeks on the boat. Another week's holiday we've booked. We've got friends, and Christmas. So that's 6 weeks. I call it 45 weeks because there's another week you're going to have off. Odd day here, there. Service the van. You've got the van in for a service. You ain't working. That's a day's holiday. So 45 weeks I base my year on. It may even go down as low as 44 weeks, depending on what happens. The van, days might not get a job, and it may work more. I have done the odd. I say I have every Saturday and Sunday off. I've done a couple of jobs on Saturday, wait and return when I had nothing on, and I've done 2 jobs on Sunday. One was local. It was literally 40 miles round trip. So again, wait and return. I don't intend on doing many more. So the big expense coming up is the van. You've got to put money aside for a new van, or somehow, corporation tax. It's all adds up. So what I'm saying is, you're not going to be, if you think you're going to make mountains of money and live a lavish lifestyle, you ain't. But at my age, 58, I know I don't look it, but 58, I'm happy to stick with a smaller van. I'm happy. I earn enough money for me to my lifestyle. My wife still works. She works at the cafe. She's back earning money because they're open, but we don't know what's happening with that. But yeah, my lifestyle, it works. If you've got 4 kids, you've got a massive mortgage, blah, 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 this, and you've got to earn a lot of money, either a small van may not be for you, because you can earn more money potentially with a bigger van, a Luton. You definitely earn more gross. You got more outgoings, but it suits me. So good first year. Happy Christmas to everyone, by the way. I do the videos, bit of fun. I started them off because I was a bit bored when I was waiting for jobs. I thought, I ain't got no idea how to do it. As you say, I don't edit nothing. I ain't got a clue. I wouldn't even know how to do it properly. I only know it one way, and if this don't work, then it don't happen. But coming up to New Year, let's hope next year this bloody virus calms down. I can't see it. I really can't, because there'll be another variant. I've got friends who live in different countries as well, who I'm friends with through motorbikes or whatever, I've got a friend in Malaysia. Not Malaysia, the Thailand. It's rife over there. They don't shout about it. China, it's everywhere. It's all everywhere. Anyway, I'm digressing, but this ain't going away. I don't think this will ever go away. I think this will be with us for ages. It's just controlling the level so we can enjoy some sort of social side. It's been 2 bloody years. But that's all right. I've got another thing that comes up. Another thing I didn't do to start with, I should have done. Congestion zones, Dartford. I've got an account with all these now, because if I go in the congestion zone, I know I'm going in it, I charge it to the customer, I don't have to worry about it. They take it out of my bank automatically. Dartford Bridge, get a Dartford account. You may only use it twice a year, it don't matter. You put a tenner in and they take it, when it gets below a tenner, they take it out your account and they give you an invoice for it, an email every month. That's pretty much it, really. Yeah, because I've got tunnels and yeah, that's pretty much all of it. But I say it's been a good year for me. From June on, probably June onwards, I pretty much, apart from when I'm on holiday, obviously, I pretty much get I set a target. My first target when I started this job was 600 a week, and so I didn't hit it a couple of times. I was like, Jesus, this is hard work, but I didn't know how to go about it. Then I put it up to 750, and I was hitting 750. That was 150 a day gross, so 750 Monday to Friday, and I started hitting that, and then I got more and more experienced, and by June I had a 1 week just fell lovely, got over 1,000. I thought I'd won the pools, but now I can hit 1,000 every week pretty much. It didn't even get a lull in October, November, December. I even hit 1,000 Christmas week. I did 4.5 days and I still got 1,000. It's hard work though. Not gonna lie, it's hard work. So, but it can be doable, and it's still enjoyable. I love it in the summer. This time of year, you're driving in the dark nearly all the bloody time. If you start early morning, it's dark. You don't finish, it's dark. It's harder in the dark finding places. If you haven't got a really good sat nav or you haven't got good directions, you can be up and down a bloody road, especially residential. If you haven't got the right number or it's a cottage, it's harder. Once spring comes and summer, the days are longer. It just seems easier. But that's my 2021 review. It got easier. Financially, it got better and better and better. Is that because I'm more experienced? Yes, I think it is. And I think building up relationships, we've said this a few times, building up relationships with shippers, building up feedback, positive feedback. I'm over 200 and some plus, with only one maybe, which is I wouldn't work for them again, because he put that, because I said I wouldn't work for him again because he didn't. It was so late, the payment, and he didn't give a shit. But that's fine. You get that. You get the odd one. But that's the only one out of all the ones I've worked for. And it's just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Don't make it a chore. Even a long drive, I can enjoy it. Radio. Get yourself a van with. I tell you what. Get yourself a van with cruise control. Get yourself a van with decent radio. If you can get DAB, get that, or you can get your phone plugged in or whatever. It make it enjoyable. It don't make it a chore, because if it's a chore, then it's not pleasant. If you don't want to get out of bed and do it, then you're not enjoying it. Whereas I get out of bed, I normally wake up before the alarm. Yeah, you get odd days, it's crap. But overall, yeah, it's good. So, do a video videos again next year. Gonna start. I'm not gonna work this week. I'm decided. Tomorrow we're out anyway. It only leaves New Year's Eve. So tough. I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna start work whatever days. New Year's Day, we obviously get the Monday off. I think it'll be the Tuesday. If I get something Monday, I might start, but it might be Tuesday. And I'll be doing a 4-day week that week, and I'll be doing a 4-day week the next week, because the van is in for its big service on Tuesday, whatever Tuesday is, the 11th or something like that. And I'll probably only be doing Tuesday to Friday the first week. So start of January, it's going to be 2 slow weeks, and then it's full on. It's full on for me, right through. Yeah, I've got a week in February. We've got the boat. We might only go down for 3 days. Might not even go down to it. We get certain weeks of the year. But hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a good year. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, whatever it is somewhere along here. I don't know where it is. Yep. Apparently you have to ring a bell or something and you can see you see them, whatever it is, notifications. Someone told me that. But keeping well. 25 minutes of crap I've just spoke, but hey, could be worse. Take care.